It strikes me that when we compare a classical Christian classroom with what is normally called a traditional classroom, we find that the latter is not very traditional at all. For centuries, the goal of education was to immerse students in the greatest and most important thoughts and actions of human history, and to teach them to weigh those thoughts and actions on the scale of God's Word. The goal was to produce students who were both trained by history and who were committed to and who were adept at applying the mind of Christ to every area of their lives. This very traditional goal is all but gone in much traditional education, and yet it is the crux of what we're trying to do at Mars Hill Academy.
So classical Christian education is both a methodology and an expression of content. So when we talk about the methodology, we're talking about the trivium. Trivium is the Latin word that means three ways. Those ways are grammar, logic, and rhetoric. They comport with the developmental stages of a child as he grows.
What if we took those three elements of the trivium, the three ways, and what if we focused on the learning propensities of children as they develop and progress through school? Let's teach them to think logically. Let's teach them to put all of these things together and to think in a way that logically combines them into a coherent whole and orders their thoughts about the world around them.
What I think makes Mars Hill different is our teachers. They love the hearts, souls, and minds of their students. They desire in all of their classes that their students would worship God better through what they are learning in that particular class. And that's different.
Today, we see people growing up desiring to communicate their beliefs and ideas in a way that is unfortunately very short-sighted, very self-centered, and with a lack of long-term understanding of who God made people and human nature. At Mars Hill, we teach something different. We teach logic. We teach appropriate rhetoric that doesn't just demean other ideals, but yet teaches them to demonstrate and understand why someone would believe what they believe with truth and with a logic that actually is persuasive and different. And so those things, I think, are critical differences about the classical approach and about being a part of the Mars Hill Academy.
I think one of the things that the Mars Hill vision statement says beautifully is that we aim to graduate students who are characterized by joyful submission to God. The goal for my students is that as they come to know God better, and as they see His glory revealed in the gospel, and as they follow Jesus Christ, they will be characterized by joyful submission to God for the rest of their lives.
Within our classrooms at Mars Hill Academy, we design each lesson, each unit to impact our students' lives so that they in turn will go out and impact others for the kingdom of Christ. So we're very intentional in the way we design our curriculum and the way that we just live our lives within the classrooms. We love our neighbors, we love our students, we love our fellow classmates, and that love for God permeates our hallways, it permeates the building and our relationships that take place here.
When a family walks in, I believe they will find a culture of joy, of order, and of, I'll call it, productivity. They will see that their students are indeed learning throughout the day, that they are on task, that things are being substantively accomplished. But it's also a joyful place. I don't think a parent will be able to walk 20 feet in the building without being greeted with multiple smiles and a spirit of joy in our students, our faculty, the parents that we serve, and the staff that serves them all.
In first grade, we begin our day with Bible, and that is the most beautiful way that we can start focusing on God's world and all that He has in it. So from our discussion of the creation story to learning about catechisms and what God's truths are in our lives and more about who He is, we begin to internalize something that is far different than they would receive in other educational environments. And doing it in a way that actually links with how our mind is designed. So classical education and the Christian version of that changes little people to see and experience a worldview that will carry them for the rest of their lives.
I know that all the classes and all the teachers at Mars Hill are working toward a common vision. I don't have to worry about the math teacher or the science teacher or some other class undermining what I'm saying or contradicting what I'm saying. We're all a team, and in our various subjects, we're all working toward the common vision of truth, goodness, and beauty for our students and giving them that firm foundation.
Mars Hill Academy did not set out to be relevant. We set out to train students with the tools of learning, to teach them the greatest thoughts and ideas of human history, a body of skills that will fit our students for life, and a worldview that trains them to see all of life through the lens of God's Word.
We are very much looking back so that we can look forward. And so we are not influenced by the trends of the world, by the passing fads in education and in the wider culture. And so we are built on the great cloud of witnesses that have gone before us. And so not only do we study them, but we've modeled the school and the expectations for the kids in the school on all that's happened before us. Classical education is not a new thing, it's an old thing that was lost and that we are now recovering. And so we've been very pleased to see that be recovered here at Mars Hill.
Mars Hill Academy is a very, very special school. We consider ourselves a community. This is a place where I get to come every day and worship the Lord through my calling. I have the distinct privilege of watching these children walk in the door as kindergartners and usher them along and celebrate them until they're seniors on their graduation day. It's a gift, and it's a calling, and it's one of the most distinct treasures that I've been given in this lifetime.
Why wouldn't you choose Mars Hill over other schools? Where else is your child going to find a school that is as joyful as Mars Hill, where the students love to learn, where they learn a great deal? Where are you going to find a group of teachers as qualified as the faculty here? Who wouldn't want to send their children to a school like that?